All right. This Israelite School of UPK in Milwaukee started out of 1 West, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. Um, we are we are a priesthood of men who have one agenda, and that's bringing the true knowledge of history and race and biblical prophecies to so-called minorities over the world, over around the world. So, you know, we'll talk about Hamas. We'll talk about Palestine and Israeli wars that's going on right now, which is a very horrific thing. Um, I think that I think that I'll tell you what I think about that in a minute. You know what I'm saying? If you got any questions, you know what I'm saying about what we're about to go into, let me know on TikTok and let me know uh, in the comment section. Today's class will be about Armageddon. You see what I'm saying? We got a race of people, man, who who've also been oppressed. We've been forced to and when I say we, I mean so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians. We've been um we've been forced into free labor for centuries here in America. Um, now since about a good 100 years now, we finally received some kind of payment for the labor that we do, and it's still a slave's or oppressed man's wage. Um, so um, on the one hand, I can sympathize with being oppressed and what that does to make people, what I'm saying, want to rebel against the people that are doing you the harm, right? Then you got another people, who have been oppressed before, who have been unalived at an alarming rate, who knows what it's like to be the lowest in their in their region, in their country. They know what it feels like. Yet once they get free, then they decide to oppress someone else, and I don't think that's right. You understand? I don't think that's right. I think at this point, what we need all of the black leaders to go to Palestine and go to the Gaza Strip and go to the Jewish people and tell them that they should forgive Palestine. You know, the same thing, and I think that's what the media should be pushing: peace. Because when it comes to me and my people, they always ask us when we've been unalived by police here at an alarming rate. More people died here of our race, y'all, than by the hands of police here in America. Black and Hispanic and Native Indian people have been unalived more, more like when it comes to how many actual deletions there were quadruple the amount of what's happening over there in the Middle East right now. And again, the loss of human life is a bad thing, of course. But I think that we need to start seeing where the Lord wants to gear this earth and the worlds and the powers in the world that run it. The same people who told you that peanut butter go with jelly. Those people. Like, who the hell said peanut butter go with jelly? Y'all ever think about that?
That's what.
Somebody just told us that peanut butter go with jelly, and we just said, okay. I'll give y'all some time to share the class too as well. I'll take questions in the class. I'll take questions on TikTok, and again, I'll take questions on YouTube. I'll take questions on Instagram. Or I'll take questions on Facebook. If you were um, curious about what's about to happen, this is about to be a very controversial class. I know it starts off as if this is about to be a God love everybody class. You know what I'm saying? I know you might be probably scrolling up and down on on TikTok, and you think to yourself that, oh man, look at this militant black man. Does he stand with Palestine? You understand? Does he stand with Jewish people? I see he had the what they call the 6-point star, which is not the 6-point star. You know what I'm saying? And if you got a question about that, we can get into that as well. Please turn your phones on mute out. The water, appreciate it. So any questions online? Any questions in the room? Go ahead.
Concert. Can I get a breakdown on Matthew 9:32?
Matthew 9:32. Let's go there. Hold on. Let me get that with you. Matthew chapter 9 and verse 32, huh?
Come.
All right, read it. Read from 31.
All right, Matthew 9, verse 31.
Of course, this is the Israelite School of UPK, started out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. The prophecies, the mysteries, the parables, the breakdowns, it all started here. You understand? With Abba Bivens and the 7 heads. This is where it started from. You understand? So what the brother's asking for is a scripture breakdown on what's happening. You know what I mean? And don't get it twisted. On any social media that I'm on, you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to come in here and watch. But if you have some things that you want to contend with, that's fine. Whether it's you think maybe Islam should be the light of the world, or you think maybe Christianity should be the light of the world. And when I say Christianity, I mean the construct of so-called Christianity as a religion that holds people down, that doesn't allow people to think freely, and is based on lies. That's what a religion is. And so even though the Bible is viewed as a religious book, it's not a religion. You understand? It's not a religion at all. You understand? Not at all. This is a class, so whoever this is trying to get in here, this is a class. If you're not in the Israelite School UPK, you won't be allowed to come on stage. This is a class, but what you can do is, you can just type your questions or your comments in the comment section. So this is a parable that we're about to break down right now. Go ahead, read it, please, loudly.
All right, come. Verse 31. But when they were departed.
When they what?
When they were departed.
Honey, you said you wanted, what verse you said you wanted?
32.
32. Go read from verse. I want to get this. Let me get this. What we need. You know what? You can read from verse 28. Verse 29. Go ahead.
Verse 29. Then touched he their eyes, saying, according to faith, be it unto you. Verse 30. And their eyes were open.
And then what?
And their eyes were open.
Where we at?
Their eyes were open.
Let me know where you at. Hold on.
Verse 30.
Okay, go ahead.
And Yahushua.
So we're at Matthew chapter 9.
9 verse 30.
What does it say?
And their eyes were open.
1 second. Maybe I'm tripping. In verse 30. He talking about some yes.
My bad.
That's cold-blooded. 9 and verse. And what you got?
Verse 30.
Uh-huh.
You want to read it again?
Please.
And their eyes were open, and Yahushua Airly? Am I reading that correctly?
Straight. What is it? Straightly. I'm where you at now.
All right, straightly charged them, saying, "See that no man know it." Verse 31.
You know what? Let's skip up to verse 27.
Come with come.
Let's do that.
And when Yahushua departed, thereins,
They're in. Go ahead.
2 blind men followed him.
Followed him. To what men? What kind of men?
Blind.
2 blind men followed him, right?
Come.
How could these blind men follow him? They can't see.
Right.
Go ahead.
They walked behind Ismail.
No. Go ahead.
Were they blinded of the world?
No, they were actually blind. These were 2 blind men.
Literally.
They just used their other senses. That's all.
Okay,
They used their other senses to know where he was at. They cried out for him. He was able to pinpoint them. So you know how I know it's hard. I know it's messed up to compare men to bats, but that echolocation thing, or you might see people do this to try to find out where they at, or they'll tick or whatever. Yeah, you just get heightened senses. That's all. Go ahead. Go ahead, read.
2 blind men followed him, crying, saying, "Thou son of David."
Now what?
Thou son of David.
This is another question that I gotta ask all my people out there. How is Jesus Christ the son of David and the son of God at the same time? Again, we're here to teach the truth about the Bible. And the truth about the Bible is this, that Mary had sex with Joseph, and that's how a baby was formed in the womb. It didn't happen by an angel touching the belly of a woman, and the next thing you know, a baby pops out. You know what I'm saying? 9 months. That's a fairy tale. That's when you watch Shrek, or you know what I'm saying? You're watching a Disney movie. But in reality, there has never been a man born on this earth, or woman born on this earth, without 2 people, a man and a woman, having intercourse with each other, and then that's how conception happens. Go ahead.
Have mercy on us.
Have what?
Have mercy on us.
Yeah, they want mercy. Why are they asking for mercy? Because here's something that Israelites knew back in the day, right? That the reason why they suffer certain things is because they sinned, their parents might have sinned, or they may have sinned in their past lives. Up to why? Go ahead.
Verse 28. And when he was come into the house, the blind man came to him.
Go ahead.
And Yahushua said unto them, "Believe ye that I am able to do this?"
He's asking a question. Do you believe that I'm able to heal you? That's what he's asking them. Do you believe it? Go ahead.
They said unto him, "Ye, Lord."
Yea.
Yea, Lord.
Which is yes, Lord. You understand? They believe that he could do this. You know what I mean? So these type of men who are blind actually see something that a lot of people can't see, period. There's a lot of people out here right now that can't even see past their own vanity. You understand? There's a lot of people out here, especially our women. A lot of women out here, man, they use their sexuality. They hypersexualize themselves. You understand? And can't see that they put themselves in harm's way. Because sex trafficking is a real thing. And it's a very lucrative and dangerous business. But for the people who are abducted, those are the people who have the danger. But the people who are abducting you, they are making tons of money. Yet you allow social media to make your mind into something that says that you need attention so bad that you'll dress a certain type of way in order to receive attention. Really, you're blind to the fact of the danger that you're putting yourself in. You know what I mean? And that's the point. And then What type of woman says to herself, I don't need a man, when a man is there to protect you? He's there to defend your honor, if you have any. You understand? So our people are very, very tricked into doing something totally different than what we should do. But these two men who were physically blind and could not see, you understand? They guess what? Guess what? They could see better than a lot of our people today. You understand? That's the point. Go ahead.
Verse 29.
I'm glad you like the toughness. Go ahead.
Then
I'm gonna shout out some people in a minute though. Go ahead.
Then touched he their eyes.
Then what?
Then touched he their eyes.
Yeah, then he touched their eyes. And this is a physical miracle, man, that happened. You know what I mean? And what you'll see is you're gonna start seeing things like this happen on the earth where the Lord decides to show who the true Israelites are that are descendant of the Jews in antiquity, the Israelites in antiquity. Who are those people? Why? Because you're gonna see an entire planet that needs to be healed, and the only people that will be able to do it are the ones who the Lord is with. And then we'll ask you, do you believe that this can be done? And if you say yeah, maybe it'll happen. If you say no, maybe it won't. I tell you what though, we supposed to go to our own first. You understand? Go ahead with this.
Saying, according to your faith.
Say what?
According to your faith.
Uh-huh.
Be it unto you. Verse 30.
That's the point. He told you, listen, if you believe it is done. Go ahead. What do you want to be broken down on here?
Come.
Verse 32?
Verse 30.
Verse 30, let's get it.
And their eyes were open.
And their eyes were open. Go ahead.
And Yahushua straightly charged them.
What did he do?
Straightly charged them.
Now that they can see, physically see, you understand? Now he's about to give them an order. Listen to this.
Saying, see that no man know it.
See what?
See that no man know it.
Uh-huh.
Verse 31. But they, when they were departed, spread abroad his fame in all that country.
So what was your question about the verse 30? You wanted to know what he was saying to them? He was telling them, I just healed y'all. I'm giving you an order.
It was 32.
32? Okay, well, so to skip you to 32, he told them, I just healed y'all. See that you go tell nobody. Yet, when they left, they went and told everybody. Imagine you having a sickness that your whole life you couldn't get rid of, and then it's healed. Don't you want to go tell somebody? You're going to go tell somebody. And that's how the fame is going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. Read on. If you could turn that heat off, please.
Verse 32. As they went out, behold, they brought him a dumb man.
They brought him a what?
A dumb man.
What is a dumb man? Who knows? Go ahead.
One that don't know nothing.
Okay, you on to it. Okay, go ahead. What's a dumb man?
Evil spirits.
No. A dumb man. Okay, what's a dumb dog? Go ahead.
I would say like somebody that's kind of slow.
What's a dumb dog? Go ahead.
A dumb dog is he don't know nothing.
You gotta give it to me better than that. Couldn't what's a dumb dog?
I guess so. Like the dog's job will be to alert.
Okay, somebody on here said a faithless man. Okay, all of y'all are pretty much onto it, but a dumb dog is a dog that does not bark. A dog is made to protect something, to alert, right? So imagine you having a dog at home and intruders come in and the dog licks the damn intruder. That's a dumb dog. What do you have a dog for? Some people just have dogs for show. Some dogs don't bark. Some dogs don't bite. Some dogs just love. They just made to be a little teddy bear, a Teletubby, or whatever the hell they want to be. But really, dogs. If you have a guard dog, and the guard dog does not bark, that is considered a dumb dog. So you're looking at a man who's a dumb man. What is the purpose of a man?
To follow the Lord.
There you have it. How do we know that? Because if you go to the Old Testament, it says that the whole duty of man, or meaning the entire job of a man is to what? To keep the commandments of God. That's the whole entire thing. So this is a man who does not keep the commandments of the Lord, which means he's filled with evil spirits, right or wrong? What's the opposite of keeping the laws of God?
Transgression against the law.
Which is evil spirits, which is devils, which is lies. That's what this man had. Let's take the spookism off the Bible and let's put practicality to it. This man, who was a dumb man, did not keep the laws of God. So inherently, he was, and the word devils just means lies or deceitfulness. This man right here was full of deceitfulness. You understand? Go ahead.
Keep reading.
Please keep reading.
Possessed with a devil.
Possessed with a devil. Meaning inside of this person's mind. It's the same thing that we do. If you don't lean towards the laws of God, you'll lean towards lies and deceit and vanity, right? So therefore, something's going to occupy your mind, whether you be possessed with what's right or you be possessed with what's wrong. A lot of us think that we're the ones who make the choices in our lives the majority of the time, because that voice in your head sounds just like you in your head. I'm going to come to you. But those voices in your head are actually forces that want to convince you to either do something right or do something wrong, or to overlook what's right to do something wrong, or to overlook what's wrong and do something right. Either way, it's something that's possessing you, having you think, and it's called your conscience, right? I'm not making something up. This is not spooky. It's called your conscience. Your conscience is that thing that allows you to weigh how you make decisions based on morality or immorality. And I'm sad. It's sad to say our people have become a very immoral people. So we've leaned more towards being possessed with devils. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, kind of.
Devils being lies. Go ahead.
Right. I was just going to say, like, the reason why we call a devil or somebody a devil, in other words, it means deceiver.
Right.
A lot of the times when you're like dealing with something or doubting something or doubting your brother, it's those thoughts that's giving you lies.
Right.
It's telling you that he did do something like that.
That's
you
the
don't
point.
know for sure.
That's the point.
But you believe in what's the spirit that's in your head.
That's the point. That's the entire point. Give him a hand. That's the point. All right. So you want to read on some more, or do you want to? Are you good with this right here?
Let me read one more verse.
Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 33. And when the devil cast out.
When the devil was cast out.
When the devil was cast out.
How do you cast out a lie? Meaning, okay, now we know that the word devil, and this is something that you can just Google. It's not that hard. I'm not making this up. I'm not making the definition of devil up. Okay, you have several definitions of devil nowadays. You'll find one, this little fictorial character that's all red. He has a pitchfork in his hand, got horns and a tail, and he lives underground, which is a fairy tale as well. But then you'll find that a devil is actually something that is deceitful, and a deceit is a lie. So how do you cast out lies from someone's mind? Remember, the devil's playground is in between your ears. You understand? Demons don't manifest themselves like on The Exorcist. That's not what happens. It's not, you don't have, you know what I'm saying, the Exorcist of Emily Rose. You're not having, the throw up and all of that extra crazy stuff, the head spinning around. Those are Hollywood stories that, we believe, what just passed? Halloween, right? Halloween just passed. So, there's a lot of people that's afraid to go to, graveyards, and, a lot of people was afraid to go outside, but a lot of people wanted to, dress up and, dress as things that do a lot of mass unaliving. Like, it's people who are dressed up as a mass shooter. Like, why would you do that? It's people that are dressed up like, what's his name? Freddie. Freddie has unalived so many people in the movies. But you don't want to dress up as, somebody that, go ahead.
I was gonna say all those horror characters are all Edomites too.
Well, yeah, for sure. You'll find out that in the world that it's a lot of people. There's a race of people that do the majority of the murdering. The unaliving. There's a lot. There's a race that makes up. If you okay, go ahead.
Slocky, there is a difference between what's the word I'm trying to say? Murder and killing, right?
There is.
Right? Come on.
All right, for teaching purposes, when the Bible says, hold on, but you have to remember those stories come from some truths. They hid a lot of history and in movies. If I understand her correctly, I think she's talking about, this is Lexi Smoker. You know what I'm saying? I think she's saying about a lot of history and in movies. Okay, yeah, sure. You got she's right. You know what I mean? So, but as far as the unaliving and stuff like that, you'll find that there's a race that is the top. He's at the top when it comes to unaliving people. You see what I'm saying? Like, to some people, you would think that a French white man, an English white man, a Spaniard white man, a Russian white man, give me some more, a Roman white man, an English white man, a German white man, a Greek white man, a Jewish white man, a Ukrainian white man, and a Palestinian white man. You would think that those all are different races of people, but they're not. You understand? Those are all the same race of people. Biblically, they all come from Esau, right? And so, but you gotta, if you understand history, then you'll understand how the people who call themselves Arabs today are really just the spawn of Alexander and the Seleucid Empire and the Ptolemaic Empire and the Khazarian Empire, and these are all Idumean races. You understand? So at the end of the day, there's a race who succeeded in unaliving people at an alarming rate. As a matter of fact, they're so good at it, they've tricked you into unaliving yourselves by abortions, right? By by drug abuse, by drug dealing, those kind of things that we get caught up in. Go ahead.
The ones that were affected by those lies are the ones would I be right to say those were possessed by the devil?
Yes. The people who believe these kind of lies are possessed by a devil. Okay, let's take the spookism off of it. It's a lie that occupies your mind, that you hold tight to, right? That's what being possessed by this lie is. Let's talk about some lies that could possess your mind real quick. What are some lies that could possess your mind? Go ahead, Amunga Bar.
So-called white Jesus?
Yes. The idea that Jesus was a white man or an olive-skinned man. Like, which olive are we talking about? We could either be talking about that black olive or we talking about a green olive. Which one are we talking about? Or a greenish tan olive. I've never seen a greenish tan man in my life. But I've seen a brown man. I've seen a black man. You understand? So which olive are we talking about? If you go into history, you'll find that in the Russian icons, if you didn't know what the Russian icons are, there were depictions or paintings of the likeness of the judges of the Bible and the people of the Bible, from the Most High to Christ to the angels to the Israelites. And they were all black people. They looked just like me. They looked just like the Mexicans. They looked just like the people from Guatemala. They looked just like the people from El Salvador. They look just like the people from Puerto Rico. Am I making this up? No. You want to know why? Because they are those people. Now, we've been taught something different. We've been taught that the Jewish race are the actual Israelites. But if you were a person who if you were a person who knew history, which I have a whole library right here, I can just pull out some books that Jewish people themselves wrote and said that they are not from the stock of the ethnic Israelites. You could go and you could find what the Egyptian president said in what 1950s, 19 was it the 40s or the 30s, somewhere around there.
Yeah, right after the
right after
the Jews are right
okay, in
there.
the 40s, he said, "How did the Jews leave Israel black and come back white?" So the people who give in to the propaganda about whether the Jews are black, whether Jesus Christ was black or white, the people who believe that he was white, those are the people who are possessed with a devil because they hold on to that lie. Why? Why do they do it? Because, I mean, it's just better to think that Jesus Christ doesn't come from the ghetto, right? When Nazareth was a ghetto. It was a ghetto. Go do the research. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, I was just gonna say that the reason why they believe that because they're also one.
Yes, and it perpetuates white supremacy. Go ahead.
So, meaning to say, what you're saying right now, so the whole Christendom is possessed by the devil.
That's
devil.
exactly what I'm saying. Even our people, it was now you may go into a church or a Catholic church where it's majority of us, and Jesus may be represented as a black man now or a brown man now. You see what I'm saying? But before the 60s, before the 70s, and even the 80s, the majority of the depictions of Jesus Christ was a white man. And that is a lie. That's historically incorrect. And if people want to say Jesus Christ never existed, that's fine. I have books that say that he did, that were written by firsthand accounts of Roman generals who were there, Roman regents and Roman governors. You understand? That were right there in the time when he was alive. But we don't even have to argue that. Let's just say that, he didn't exist, which we know he did. The Israelites do. The Jews did. And then there's depictions of the Jews, not just in history, but it's also in the Bible. See what I'm saying? So, it's all perpetuated for a reason. But I don't want to stay too harped on this because we got somewhere to go. We got to go to the Third World War. We got to talk about what's happening in the Jewish state right now with the Israelis and Palestinians. We got to talk about that. That's something that's happening in the world. It's going to jumpstart World War III. So as you've seen, it's been a lot of unaliving out there. And the Jewish people are really, they're on the verge of committing genocide on the Palestinian people. Now, but the Palestinians, they did fight back from oppression. They fought back, and they did a sneak attack. Of course, we all know this. And this is public history, it's public knowledge. What you don't know is this. This is what you don't know. That the land that they're fighting over doesn't belong to either one of them.
That's right.
That's what you didn't know. You understand? Get the Lord a hand. That's what you didn't know. They're fighting for a land that belongs to those people that the world hate. Those people that taught you how to wear your hat to the side like this. Those people who wear their pants sagging. You know what I'm saying? Those people who speak broken English. The people who speak broken Spanish. You understand? The people who taught us, the people who made the computer. You understand? The people who made the stoplight, the stop sign. The people who made the carburetor. Who could I be talking about? The people that made peanut butter. Who am I speaking about? I'm talking about so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians, and West Indians. These people are the true owners of that landmass that you see in the Middle East. And the piece of land that they're fighting over in the Gaza Strip, in between the Jordan and the sea that's right there and right above Egypt, right underneath Syria, that's like a quarter, if even 15% of the land that we had back when we had that land and we occupied it. I know there's a common misconception that so-called African Americans, because they found us in Africa and put us into slavery from Africa, that we're Africans. But we are not Africans. We fled down into Africa after 70 AD, the destruction of the Jewish state. You understand? After we lost in Jerusalem, after we lost in Masada, we fled down into Africa because we were a dark-skinned race that wanted to blend in with other dark-skinned races.
That's right.
You understand? This is a fact. Now, if anybody pushes me on TikTok and say, prove it, I'll prove it. If anybody pushes me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and say, prove it, I'll just prove it. I'll just have you grab the books from right here. Nevertheless, I'll keep going. So now, you didn't know that land belonged to us, but here's what you don't know. The same Arabs, that same religion, they did us worse. They did us worse before we went into the transatlantic slave trade. They had a hand in building the slave ships. You understand? They took our women into what they call whorems. It's what a whole word became popular as a group of women who they would force to be sex workers for them. And then they would sell them and their kids into slavery. How could they do that? How were they even able to do that? Because they unalived a lot of our men. You see what I'm saying? And drove us away. Go ahead.
So this, what you're talking about right now, it has so much to do with the book of Amos 1, 7, and 8.
Read it. Hold on, wait. You want to read from 1 all the way down to 7? Oh, 1, 7, and 8. Let's go.
Yeah, go on. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
That's exactly what this is talking about. You got to understand, the people of that land now aren't the actual Gazans. But because they occupy that land in Gaza, they have to deal with what curse the Lord put on that land. You want to sit there and take it, then you're going to take this curse too. And that's what does it say?
I'll read it again. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
Because they carry away captive the whole captivity to deliver them up to Edom.
There you have it. So you looking at the people who also had a hand in taking us into the captivity unto Edom. You understand? So if you go all the way back from in modern history, from medieval history, and you go into what's called the biblical history, or right thereafter, you'll see that these people had a hand in selling us to the so-called white race. I say so-called because we know they're not white. You understand? But, yeah, that's an excellent scripture. Give them a hand. And there's more. Go ahead.
Yeah, come on, consider. It's 7 and 8, you know. But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza.
He said he'll do what?
Send a fire on the wall of Gaza.
The Lord said he will send a fire on the wall of Gaza. You understand that? Now, what's happening in Gaza right now? Go ahead.
The Jewish man
is dropping bombs. That's what's happening. War is in Gaza. Fire is in the wall of Gaza, right?
That's right.
Go ahead. Nobody can compare to this book. Doesn't compare to anything. Nobody can have a book that's better than this. When you show me a book that has actual living prophecies in it that actually are coming to pass right now, and I'll put this book away and I'll follow that one. But there is none. You understand? And this was written in God knows how long. What you reading out of? Amos?
Yeah.
This is thousands of years ago. It's like 3,000 to 4,000 years ago.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Where the Lord said that this would happen. Now you're blessed to see it with your own eyes. Fire is hitting the walls of Gaza.
That's right.
Why? Because the Lord loves his people. And I'm going to tell you why. The Lord does not, yeah, you get the Lord a hand for that. It's been too long that nobody spoke up about the oppression that's been happening in America to our people. You understand that? 85,000, right? Children have been missing or have gone missing or unalived at the borders here in America, right? They were fleeing from Central America, trying to get back into the land that they owned first, right? Fleeing from the drug cartels, fleeing from the drug wars. You understand? And then nobody sent $10 billion over here for them. Where was the Palestinian love for what was happening to us over here? Did the Palestinians show any love?
No, sir.
Did they stand with us?
No way.
When did Palestine stand with us when we were being unalived at an alarming rate? No. How about the Jewish state? Did the Jewish people stand with black people in the 60s? No, they didn't. Go ahead.
They both cooperate, for us to be in this disgrace.
That's the point. That's the point. These people never stood with us. Who stood with us during slavery? When we was picking that cotton? Did they stand with us, Ak? You know who stood with us? Go ahead.
The Mexicans.
The Mexicans stood with us. Give the Mexicans a hand.
That's right.
You want to know who else stood with us? The Native Indians stood with us.
Right.
Give them a hand. Yeah, the West Indians stood with us. Give them a hand.
That's right.
Go ahead.
They brought me up. You know what brother says over here? They're on slavery time. The black slaves, they flew to Mexico because in Mexico, there was about 100 years, they was out of slavery.
Mm-hmm.
And when they crossed the border, the one that was hunting the slave from here.
The Mexican army, I know.
Yeah.
The Mexican army defended us.
And they asked the Mexican government, I'm talking about the slave chasers.
Right.
Okay, and they asked the Mexican government,
to give us
bring
up.
them back. He said, hell no.
I know.
We don't have no more. We don't practice slavery no more here. So get away from here.
Damn right. Give them a hand.
That's right.
That's who stood with us. The Mexicans stood with us. And you want to know what? Whole time, these are our blood relatives. The Mexicans and Negroes in America are the same race.
That's right.
You understand? Yeah, get a Lord a hand. The Native Indians and the Mexicans and the blacks are in America here are the same race. But the Negroes in America here and the Ethiopians are not the same race.
That's right.
The Negroes here and the Libyans in Africa are not the same race.
That's right.
I know you thought we were, but we're not. The Negroes here and the people from Ghana are not the same race.
That's right.
Go ahead.
So the white man taught us about color as far as race, but it's not about color. It's about your bloodline.
It's about your bloodline.
That's right.
It's about your bloodline. Who your father is who you are. You understand? Now, your mother, she counts, but the life lives in the testicles. You understand? The life does not live in the woman's egg. How do I know? Because every single month, she gets a new one. You understand? It expires like the eggs in the refrigerator, brother. You understand? It is an egg, right?
Yep.
But your sperm is a living thing. It is alive. Right? You understand? That is a person. You're walking around right now with 400 million people inside of 2 balls in your underwear right now, incubating, hoping that they can reach one of these eggs. Without you, there will be no life. So if all of our people, if all the men in our race were deleted out and unalived, then our race is done. And the Lord said that he would never allow that to happen.
That's right.
You understand? So, yeah, get a Lord a hand with that. So, you know what? Now let's continue talking about Palestine. You know, Palestine, the ones who didn't stand with us in recent history. when black men were being unalived by the police by the thousands, they didn't stand with us. There was no Palestine stands with black people. Russia stands with black people. The Jewish people, we stand with you. And I know you're going to say Black Lives Matter was that, but it wasn't. Black Lives Matter was another Christian group that was designed to steal money from us.
Right.
And that's exactly what they did. So, can I get some more coffee, please? Send me again. So, yeah, that's that. Now, go ahead.
Yeah, it's chapter 8. It's serious.
With Syria?
Yeah, he said about the Philistines.
We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this. All right. Let's get into Armageddon, man. Let's get into Armageddon. Anybody on TikTok got any questions? Anybody? Let me see. Let me check this out. See who we got in there. It's a lot of people in here. Nobody got no questions for me? No? No questions. Yeah. Yeah, Lexi. Lexi.
Yeah, water.
Lexi seemed like she knows some things. No water. No, thank you. Lexi seemed like she knows some things. Who we got? Let me see. Just looking for the questions on here. Any questions online? No questions online? No, any more questions in the room before we get into this? Go ahead.
So like it just gotta pull this up. So just I've been kind of looking at different talking points for people saying that there's contradictions in the Bible.
Okay, what's the contradiction in the Bible? And usually when people say there's a contradiction in the Bible, it just proves to you that they don't know the Bible.
Right.
That's pretty much all it is. But we can let's what's the contradictions that they saying are in the Bible?
So like there's one page that after looking down at it, I feel confident that I can address each and every one of those points. The only one that I'm not exactly sure how to exactly articulate is it's in Second Chronicles and Second Kings when it's talking about Isaiah of Judah.
Where is it at? What's the actual scripture?
So, Second Chronicles 21:17.
Hold on 1 second.
You know,
Second Chronicles 21 and what? 17?
I believe so. That it's
When they was carried away?
I know that's not the way the scripture. The point that I'm trying to get at. I know the first one is second. All right, Second Chronicles 22:2.
Second Chronicles 22 and 2.
And Second Kings 8:26. It
All
just
right.
gives two different ages of his reign.
Go ahead. So what's the contradiction with it?
So like that's the part. Like I personally ain't really got much of a problem with it. Just when they say that this just something being wrong with the dating system on here, or the recording of the age of his reign. Like they're always like, well, which one was it? Where was he 22 or was he 42? And how big of a problem this is for them to be able to galvanize, to the Bible. That's one of the bigger points of contention that I've heard them nitpick at, that I just couldn't just straight out answer.
Right, okay. So let's say there was a discrepancy in the record, which there's not. But let's say there was a discrepancy in the record. Does that mean that since there's a discrepancy with a few years, that love your brother like you love yourself, we should throw that away?
Right, lie.
Okay. Don't eat pork. Should we throw that away?
Lie.
Don't have sex with your brother's wife. Should we throw that away?
Lie.
Don't put any gods before the Most High. Should we throw that away?
Lie.
Okay. So I mean, should we throw away the feast days and high holy days too? Because somebody doesn't know that in Israel, we don't worry about time. We don't do that.
That's right.
And if I'm not mistaken, this man reigned twice. If I'm not mistaken, this man reigned 2 times. He was like a what they call it, when let's say you had a boy that came into kinghood, but he was too young to rule. So then somebody would rule until he's of age. What do you call that? A client king. So like a client king or something like that?
Interim?
Interim king? Something like that. I think this was the brother that was like that. I just look it over again. It kind of does something to my memory, but nevertheless, do we throw the baby out with the bathwater? Now, if you saw something here that said you should sexually abuse kids, then you throw it away. You understand? You find something in here that says that you should sin against God, then throw the whole book away. You'll never find it. I mean, but you have certain things that are written in different ways, like Christ's birth, his genealogy. You understand? Like the genealogy of Nimshi. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be a scholar in this thing, even. And those are people who really just want to smoke weed all day. They want to find one little thing so that they can hang on to being a drug addict. And smoking weed is being a drug addict. How do I know? Because Burna, the artist Burna, just turned down $5 million, brother, in Dubai. He turned down $5 million, brother, because they said that he couldn't smoke. Weed, brother. Weed. A plant. A plant in a bag. A little plant in a bag that you smoke. He turned down $5 million because he could not smoke a plant.
Right.
And you don't think he's addicted to drugs? 1 second. You think he couldn't go 2-3 weeks without smoking weed, man?
Yeah.
For $5 million? Brother, come on. You know what I would have did if I smoked weed, which I don't because I'm not a crackhead. You understand? But if I did, I'm going to suffer that for $5 million. You understand? I'm going to suffer that for 2 weeks, $5 million. Listen, we not smoking no weed. Ain't nobody in my entourage. We not smoking nothing. If I catch you smoking something, I'm leaving you right here in Saudi Arabia. You going to be an Arabian night. You hang with the den of thieves and Aladdin and Abu and the genie. You find a lamp. Because I'm telling you straight up, if you smoke anything when you in my entourage for these 2 weeks and jeopardize this $5 million, you got to go. $5 million, brother. I would have flew in there, did my little, what he be doing? I really need China. I really need some head and some China. That's not him. What do he be singing, man? I don't know. I don't know no Burna Boy songs.
That's right.
Did anybody know a Burna Boy song? I just know he's a African that stole reggaeton and mixed it with R&B, and they call it Afro beats. It's nothing specifically uniquely dope about Afro beats.
That's right.
It's nothing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's how much marijuana or marijuana is such a drug is that he's afraid to not smoke it because he's not gonna be able to function.
Man, he can't eat without marijuana. He can't eat without the the abuse of marijuana. He can't have sex without the abuse of marijuana. He can't enjoy. He can't even enjoy Dubai without the abuse of marijuana, a plant. And let me tell you something how heavy this is. Marijuana has become something that defeats many people. And it doesn't move, it doesn't talk, it can't walk. If you punch a pound of weed, it's not going to punch you back. You understand? You can't have sex with it. We're talking about a plant, brother. In a little bag, a little plant, a green plant that can't talk to you. It can't haunt your dreams. It does haunt some people's dreams. Let me take that back. It haunted Burna Boy enough to just think to go without it. If he loved a woman that much, then he's on to something. You gotta love the Lord though, like your love and your affinity for a plant. You gotta love the Lord more than you love a plant, brother. I mean, you would think he a heathen, so you would have thought that he'd have loved the money more than the plant. You think Burna Boy can afford to miss $5 million? Apparently he can. I can't. Go ahead.
So like it, sir, is that what's that called? King too young to rule, a regent.
A regent. There you have it. A regent.
Yeah, regent.
Yes, give him a hand. Go ahead.
I'm gonna read the definition of this.
Go ahead. Read the definition of a regent for a king.
A regent is a person who rules a country when the king or queen is unable to rule, for example, because they're too young or too ill.
There you have it. All right. I believe this brother, I think his name was Ahaziah. I think he was a regent. I gotta just go over the scripture again though. So yeah, I mean, $5 million a plant. What are we talking about? I lost the whole track. I mean,
Sound like a drug addict.
yeah, it's definitely a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So basically the marijuana smoking.
Yeah, the marijuana smoking him. Marijuana winning.
Smoke them out.
Let me tell you something. Here's how diabolical it is. Here's how diabolical it is. Just 30 years ago, if you was caught with a pound of weed, you're going to prison. 30 years ago. I'm sorry, for black people, if you was caught with a nickel bag and it was bagged up, you're going to jail, brother. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they're still in jail because of that.
Oh yeah, it's something still. Is that what you're gonna say?
I was saying along the lines, you know what I'm saying, or if they even find just like
A roach. Any paraphernalia. Go ahead.
So I got 18 months for half a blunt.
He got 18 months for half a blunt.
94.
Man, listen. The white man, our oppressor, is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
That's right.
18 months for half a joint. A blunt. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's like, and then also they would plant it on you just in case you don't have it in your car.
Listen, they tried me like that before. But somebody taught me a little bit better than that. When you drive, make sure that your car is completely clean. Completely clean. That's when you were young and stupid and in a drug game and doing stupid stuff like that. You know, at least be sophisticated with it. I mean, if there's anything that has something to do with a sophisticated drug dealer, I was it. You understand? I'm going to vacuum my car out, have it detailed all the time. I know for a fact I have nothing in this car. It doesn't smell like anything. I don't smoke in it. I don't smoke cigarettes in it. There's no ashes in here at all. It's a clean car. Smells like black ice. Y'all know what the black ice is? That black ice, you scrape it a little bit, hang it on that gear, you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And you don't give them a reason. I mean, I'm not trying to give y'all the game because I ain't in the game, but nevertheless, y'all understand. So I said that to say this, man. Nobody stood with us. Nobody stands with us. Palestine does not stand with Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. So should you stand for Palestine? No. The Israeli people definitely do not stand with us.
That's right.
So should we stand for Israeli people? No. As a matter of fact, those are the number one people who perpetrate themselves as being us, and then they benefit everything that we should benefit from being the holy race of the Most High.
That's right.
Nevertheless, we can't get any of that, right? Because we're really just the N word. We're the S word. You understand? We're the I word. We're the W word. We're nothing but slurs and proverbs, and the world hates us, man. The world hates us, yet guess what? We've forgiven everybody. So who's really in touch with God? Us or them? Seems like we are. because we've forgiven people that unalived us for centuries.
Right.
There's no count. Listen, there's 100 million black men and women that died, that were unalived and drowned and eaten by sharks on the way here, on the voyage. Only, 10 million of us survived over here? And then we multiply it to 30 million, roughly 40 million in America today. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say two other ones. They even put alligators on the Rio Grande. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They won't cross over.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Now listen, that's 100 million just over here alone. Not to count how many died over just one tribe, my tribe, the Jews, the real Jews. You understand? Not to say, you understand, just us alone, from then all the way up to this day, had to be about 300 million of us unalived. And nobody paid for that. Nobody. Go ahead.
So, like, sir, when did the Jim Crow law end? What year?
Never did.
It's still going.
It's still going on today. Y'all think Jim Crow is over with? Who's stupid enough to think Jim Crow is done? Don't be that. Jim Crow is in effect. It's in your laws. It's in the laws that they have in America. And Jim Crow will never go away. You understand? Go ahead.
So Willie Lynch is still active, huh?
Willie, come on now. I mean, come on. Didn't nobody stand with us when the police were unaliving us? Those were lynchings.
Right.
Where was Palestine then?
Laughing on us?
Where was Israel then? Go ahead.
What I got a scripture, sir, to ask what it's specifically saying.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 2 and 9.
Go ahead. Let's get it.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 9.
Everybody there?
Come.
I ain't hear enough cons.
Come,
Everybody there?
come.
All right, let's get it.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulations. And poverty.
Read 8 first. No, read 7 first.
Read 7.
Read 7 first. Let's break the whole thing down. Let's hear what Jesus Christ, a actual Jew, said about something. Go ahead. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And y'all stay tuned, man, for more. Also, we're gonna go live on Friday. That's the 4th, right?
Saturday.
Saturday is the 4th, right? We're going live on Saturday. We'll be at the Menominee Reservation. We'll be giving away winter provisions. We're going to be giving away gear to the Native American Indians on that reservation. And then giving them food, hot cocoa. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brotherhood. This will be the 3rd annual. And we plan on having as many more as we can before World War III turns all the way up. Then we'll be going on and getting them. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that, right? Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 7.
And if you wanted to donate, you can go to our GoFundMe account. I think it should be linked on the bio, right? No? If not, let's link that to GoFundMe in our bio on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? On every social media we got. But if you want to support the Native Indians that you forgot about,
Right.
that are stuck on the reservation and can't find a way out, in utter poverty and cold in the wintertime, who will stand with the Native Indian reservation? I know you want to stand with Palestine. I know you want to stand with Israel right now. But I'm going to tell you who really needs you. The Native American Indians who have been disposed of on the concentration camp they call the reservation. It's not the reservation, it's the concentration camp. That's where they're at. And they're over there suffering and don't have enough food. They're on drugs because why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be on drugs when they have nothing but utter poverty and oppression to look at every day?
Right.
You understand? Why wouldn't they be on alcohol? Why wouldn't they? When their daughters are being sexually abused at every chance you turn. His sons are being sexually abused every chance you turn. Every way you turn. So look, we'll be there. Commander General Yohana in the Israelite School EPK, he cares about the brothers and sisters that's on the Native Indian reservation. So we're going to be there.
That's right.
And it may be cold and we don't give a damn.
That's right.
We're going to be out there anyway. Ain't that what we're going to do?
That's
You
right.
better know it. Whether you support or not, we're going to do this thing. See, here's the difference between us and Burna Boy. Here's the difference between us and P. Diddy. Here's the difference between us and Jay-Z. We're not selfish pigs.
Right.
We're not bastards. We're not heartless, spineless people. We care about our people. You understand? And we don't need all the money in the world. Look at what we do without.
Right.
Look at what we do without millions and millions of dollars. What we do without it. We go on a reservation and we go broke doing this, man.
That's right.
You understand? And that's why Christ said, blessed be the poor. You understand? Blessed are you who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of heaven. That's why he said that. Because we see something that they don't see. Why? Because they're blind, just like those men we read about in Matthew. They're blind, just like that.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead, read on.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
He that hath an ear.
Stop. How many people on this earth has ears? Every single one of us are born with an ear cavity. Now, you might not have a lobe, but you'll have an ear with an eardrum and all that. He who has an ear,
Let him hear.
let him what?
Let him hear.
Let him hear. If you got hearing, listen to this. It's a metaphor. All men have ears. The majority of us are born with the ability to hear. If you can hear, can you understand this? Go ahead.
What the Spirit saith unto the churches.
What the Spirit of the Most High is saying unto the schools. You understand? The pockets of Israelites who know that you're Israelites. The churches, the word church comes from a word that meant a gathering of Israelites. That's where it came from. You don't believe me? Google it with your smartphone. Since you're so dumb. It's a lot of dumb people with smartphones. You understand? There's a lot of dummies with smartphones. Well, use it. Google it. Just Google the words. All right? Go ahead.
To him that overcometh will I give to eat. Will I give to eat the tree of life.
Now, to him that overcometh what? To him that overcometh what? Go ahead.
Trials and tribulation.
Yeah. What else?
The fact that overcome life.
Go ahead.
Temptation.
Yes, that's another one. Kananya,
The world.
give him a hand. That's what you got to overcome. You got to overcome society. You understand? Society, if you can overcome not dressing like a $2, I can't say that word on TikTok. What can I say on TikTok? Go ahead. A $2 Jezebel. What else can I say on TikTok?
I was gonna say streetwalker.
A $2 harlot, a $2 streetwalker. Anything else? Schmut. Can you say schmut? You can say schmut.
Sex workers.
Yeah, a $2 sex worker. You definitely say that. What else you can say? If you can avoid that, because the world wants black and Latino women to look like a piece of sex. They don't want them to be known for their mind. They don't want to be known for their morality, their qualities as a woman, like cooking and cleaning. Oh no. Cardi B said, I don't cook, I don't clean. What else she say she don't do? She don't read. What else she don't do? She don't practice her speech. What else she don't do?
But sex is mean.
Man, come on. She said, I don't cook, I don't clean, but I do what? She got that wop, huh? I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I think she got a wad of money. That's about it. Go ahead, you want to say something?
I was gonna say if she has that all the time, that means she has some type of disease, so she might have to get that checked.
Okay, you just took that to a whole nother level.
I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna. I don't want to talk about another man's woman too much. Nevertheless, This is the deal. You're dealing with, if you can't overcome the allure of the gold chains and the diamonds and the jewels and the cars and the clothes and the ability to have sex with multiple upon multiple women and have the flyest clothes, but you gotta sell some drugs. You understand? Or you gotta sell some butt. There's a lot of these rappers out here selling some butt. I'm telling you straight up. They giving it up. They bending it over. Don't believe me? Go ask P. Diddy. He done hit a lot of them. P. Diddy hitting them. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. Joe Budden said it on an interview live. I like being that way.
Hey, listen, Joe Budden is a special type of woman. Go ahead.
It was on it was advertised in the album The Chronic too, or the one.
What do they say on the Chronic?
Well, there was like there's a certain I think it was an intro, outro. It talks about like how rappers get famous. You know what I mean?
They bending over.
They bend him over and he's getting hit from the back. He's like, oh, that's how hard y'all get down over here.
Sheesh, it must be a rough life to be a rapper. I know Lil Uzi Vert, he twerking. He twerking on something. I think he twerking on Birdman. Young Thug, he'll be out because he like the schmossage. Go ahead, you want to say something?
I don't know how true it can be, but they will say, quite some time ago about Barack Obama, that he was gay, plus he was married, to one of our sisters.
Brother, that's her problem. She chose that African.
Of course.
You understand? When a woman of our persuasion, of our bloodline, decides to go and be a traitor and be with another race, brother, I don't give a damn about it no more. Straight up, she's with him. She is his woman, which means to me, and I could be wrong for this, but when a black woman marries a white man, to me, she's not black no more, brother. She's white. Until he started hitting her with the N-bomb every day when he mad. That's just like that video I just did on TikTok. When that devil was talking to the black woman in the store, talking about she's a nasty N-word and she's a classless bitch and all of that. She was, excuse my French, TikTok, but that's what he was saying about it. You understand? And he's married to a black woman. So if he'll say that to a stranger, a black woman in the store while he has on his uniform and his service pistol on, what do you think he's saying to that black woman at home? When she don't behave like a white woman. Oh, you're a classless bitch. Yeah, you're acting like an N-word. You're just an N-word. You filthy black. That's how he's talking to her. He's abusing her verbally every chance he gets. Don't believe me? Go ask Holly Berry. Holly Berry said it too. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the white man looked at our sister like a sex object,
Like a trophy.
right?
Like a notch on the belt. It's like a rite to passage. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. I think they use that as a means to divide us, try to take our black women away from us.
If a black woman go be with a white man, she wasn't black for a long time, brother. You understand? She wasn't black for a long time. She was white. Go ahead.
I'm saying these heathens know how beautiful our women are. You know what I mean? We just rather deal with heathens.
Can I give y'all the inside scoop on America? The inside scoop on America knows the history of us more than we know. Outside of Israelite School of BK. The way black women used to be on, how about this? When Spanish historians used to come over here and explore America, they would see that the native Indians lived like this. I could get it in the book right now. This is what used to happen. They would, I think it was, I forget the historian's name. I could just get it in the book. He was across the river, right, on the plain by a tree, checking out the native Indians. And we would be there night and day. And he said what he saw during the day was the women doing all the work. The women did all the work. They picked all the corn. They cooked all the food. They made all the bread. You understand? They washed all the clothes. They cleaned all the fish. You know what I'm saying? They made all the clothes. You know, everything. They took care of everything. And the men, in the morning, what they did, they got on their horses, left, went out, hunt, probably went to war, came back, and then that night, all they heard from the tents was, ah! Ah!
That's right.
Yeah, smacking it. You understand? So you know what that teaches them? Also with the history that they know about how we were on the west coast of Africa, when we fled into Africa, also how they know about how we were in Jerusalem, that these women can make a society. If you divide these women from their men, then they won't have the strongest nation. Then we'll have the strongest nation. And let me tell you something. You ready? Here's a sober pill for you. America has your wife, has her mentality. Like America, the love that you should get from Black and Hispanic and Native Indian women, that goes to America. And one second, that goes to America. That goes to the dollar. That goes to the clothes. All the things that gets a woman attention. But the wrong attention is what they're looking after. They're looking for the wrong attention. They're not looking for a righteous attention. They're looking for the wrong thing. So you never had your woman's mind. Your woman's mind is still on partying. Your woman's mind is still on what she could wear to turn heads. Your woman's mind is still on not needing you. It's the same thing that happened in the Garden of Eden. That's the same thing. Eve thought she was equal to more powerful than Adam because of the white man's lies. Go ahead.
Would it be right to say they got the mark of the beast?
That's exactly what it would be.
That's right.
Because what would your woman do to you? You understand? If you threaten her way of life. Go ahead.
Call the police.
With what? What she used to call the police? Go ahead.
Smartphone.
Okay. That's true. A dummy using a smartphone. Once again. But okay. What she loves is all up here. The philosophies that she loves is right up here. And she's going to use that right hand to call somebody that could potentially put you to death. You understand? So does she have the mark of the beast? She for sure has the mark of the beast. But do we have the mark of the beast as a nation? Men? Yes, we have the mark of the beast. For sure. We unalive each other at an alarming rate for what? For what America says is cool? The cars, the technology, the phones, the video games, the shoes, the belts, the hats, the jewels. Like, brother, we unaliving each other, brother, for nothing out here. For a block that don't belong to us. One thing he had his hand up first. Go ahead.
So say this, but I'm gonna say anyway, So, but means we have the electronic chip on the right hand side of my forehead.
Yeah. They got an electronic chip. Give me a time check.
7:40.
Go ahead, y'all.
I want to say we're also unaliving each other for the WAP.
Oh my goodness. The women, that's the point. I mean, why do we get the diamonds? Why we gotta look good? Why we gotta smell good? Why we gotta have the best cars? We're in competition with each other so that we can get vagina. That's the point. And then the vagina, she's only giving you the vagina if you're satisfying her demons. And if in the moment that you don't satisfy her lust, her insatiable appetite for attention and for money and for vain things, and another man can, she's going to leave you. You don't believe me? Ask Future. Now Future got his son dressed like Russell Wilson. That's his son dressed with his shirt tucked in his plaid shirts with corduroys, brother. With some wallabies. Long sleeve at that. You know what I'm saying? With some wallabies, bro. That's the Future son dressing like that. So he can look up to Russell Wilson. But why don't the woman just give Future his son and go make a whole new family with Russell Wilson? Why don't she do that? Go ahead.
Slocky, sir.
She is pregnant though right now.
Yeah, I know. So she need to go ahead and give Future his son. And let him raise his son. It's his. I don't know what does America taught women that these kids are theirs? These kids don't belong to you.
That's right.
You just was holding it for me for 10 months. Give me my property back.
My life.
Come on, man. Go ahead.
If you was Future, sir, so how would you handle it?
If I was Future, how would I handle it?
You got everything. You want your son.
And I want my son, but she won't give him to me?
Yeah.
And fuck you and them kids. Excuse my French. Sorry, TikTok. Excuse my French. Go ahead.
It's like if you put a dollar in the vending machine, the soda come out. Is the soda the vending machine's or is it yours?
It's mine.
Exactly.
I put the dollar in it. You understand? Yeah, I put the sperm in her. What came out was a baby. You telling me when it come out now I gotta get a soda back to the woman. I gotta go to court for my soda that I just paid for.
You have to get back the can after you drink that.
Right. Or I gotta do a DNA test to see if my fingerprints was on this joint. Go ahead.
So that's why I think it's all about division. That's how they do everything against the black. They use our women against us. They take the kid. They want to lock them up. Call a white man. We'll come get them. They use them against a weapon.
Don't sweat it, cause guess what? It's about to come a time real soon where black women gonna know where they could be and where they can't be.
Yep.
All of that going over to the other nations. Listen, these other nations hate these people, man. That come from us. Why do you think? Okay, it's like, you remember the Don't Be a Menace to Society? And it was like, damn, brother, every time I see you, you gotta eat like my milk of magnesia. You remember that? When he was, the wokety woke blackety black man was always lusting over white women and trying to have it. He talking about something. I'm just trying to do to them what they've been doing to us for 400 years. What's that? F them. Well, guess what? In reality, that's exactly what they doing to us. Man, listen. White men tolerate white women. They do not want them. Unless they look like our women. Because our women is just the dopest. But there's coming a time, one second, and down. There's coming a time where the world is about to change back right side up.
That's right.
And there will be no comfort in America for black and Latino women.
That's right.
Except for with black and Latino men. Otherwise, they're going to be unalived. You already know there's 75,000 cases of black women or Latino women that are missing today, just in America alone, right in this year. Go do your research. That's 75,000 women. That could potentially be, I could get 1,000. You could get 1,000. You could get 1,000. You could get 1,000. Y'all ever seen that Tom Brady commercial with Hertz? You get a rental. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Yeah. That's 75,000 women lost, gone to sex trafficking. They're probably somewhere in Dubai in a room being drugged up and being plunged. You understand? They're getting plunged against their will. And I bet right now they're thinking, man, I should have just got with that Israelite brother, man, who had multiple wives.
That's right.
And I would be protected right now. And I would be so happy, God. God, please save me, Lord. Please. But God ain't coming to save you. You want to know why? Because you was that woman who couldn't, whenever we say, sis, cover your behind up, cover your breast up. You want attention. Hold on 1 second. Hold your point. You want attention, but the problem is you're blind. That's like I said in the beginning. You're blind because that attention with your cleavage and with your butt and with your stomach and you showing your nipples through your breast, through your dress, there are people who are preying on you. They count on you for doing that. And they sit outside the nightclubs and they scope you. And your stupid ass don't even know that they follow you home. And they find out where you live and they wait for the right opportunity and they snatch you up. Oh, it sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it, TikTok? Well, then you explain to me, while over 75,000 black women have gone missing in unsolved cases right now. You understand? Explain that to me. These women are getting snatched up at the light. She parked around the corner. She went out and her man said, do not go out. She created a problem with her man. I'm not making this up, brother. She created an argument with her man so she could feel like she was justified with her emotions to go out and drink and party like some stupid person, go out, get super drunk, and she done already been followed and trailed. 1 second, hold your peace. She go around the corner because she had to park all the way down the corner. This is the thirst for attention, get you. She dressing with her breast out. Most of these women just be having like nipple stickers. I don't even know what the hell those are. They're the nipple sticker. The whole breast is out. And then they got on some see-through pants. You can see it. And you don't think that a predator wants that? That's money. That's cash. The majority of these predators do not want your woman for her box, brother. They want her for the money that she can get for them. They don't want the box. They'll just sell her for $100,000 to the quickest buyer, $2 million for the quickest buyer. And then guess what? They'll go out and they'll find a respectable woman and they'll live a lifestyle where you thought that he was a Christian pastor. Damn, did I just get a whole game? Yeah. Your Christian pastors are the ones helping them with sex trafficking. How do I know? Because the scriptures say, for the gates thereof are, they what? Languish. You understand? You didn't know that your Christian pastors are in cahoots with what's going on in your neighborhood? Don't you remember how Martin Luther King sold you out? You forgot? So you think that the people that follow Martin Luther King and his ideology, they're not greedy either? They're greedy, brother. They sold your neighborhoods out. The reason why we have poverty in every ghetto is because of Martin Luther King. They sold you out. They're doing it today. I see your hand. Drop it. They sold you out. You understand? It's time check?
It's 7:50, but I had the scripture that you just quoted.
All right, do it then. Let's get it. Let's get that scripture.
We count out all kind. It's the book of Jeremiah 14:2.
Mm-hmm.
Judah mourning.
Who?
Judah mourning.
You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, you're in a state of mourning. Why? Because you're on utter poverty. Your woman is outrageously in disorder. And your children are miseducated. I mean, you don't have any money. You don't have a business. Nothing is successful for you. You're being unalived at an alarming rate. Palestine won't even stand with you. Israel won't even stand with you, yet you'll stand with them. You understand? You got to be the most peaceable people on this earth.
That's right.
You understand? And you're mourning. Why? Go ahead.
And the gates thereof languish.
The gate is what protects your family. What's in your house. And without a gate, if you had a weak gate, then anything can get out and anything can get in. You understand? How do I know? My damn dog get out the gate all the damn time.
That's right.
My gate weak at home. You understand? But my trigger finger strong. Don't come to my crib thinking it's sweet, because it's not. You understand? I'll turn it to Palestine. It's a lock. Alright, anyway. Maybe that was insensitive. Nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? Read on. The gates thereof language, I'm sorry. The gates represent your leaders. These are the people that are supposed to guard your residence, stand around your residence to keep you safe. Well, they're weak. What are they weak to? They're weak to money. They're weak to women. They're weak to power. They're weak to position. They're weak, period. You understand? They're whores. They're sellouts for money. They'll sell you out. Go ahead.
They are black.
They are who?
Black.
These are your black Christian pastors. These are your and when I say black, I mean all tribes. I mean blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, West Indians, South Americans, Central Americans, of indigenous population, the Negro or the Indian descent. That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
You understand? So you're black. This is you. This is you, the black man. And they just sold you out. I know it hurts. You've been sold out. And then as soon as somebody get unalived, like Trayvon Martin got unalived, they asked the sister, how do you feel about this? I forgive him. What? Dylan Storm Roof came in the church and unalived 9 black people who went to go serve God. Did nothing to nobody. unalived them right there in the church, broad daylight, and then the families of them talking about they forgive them. Okay, Botham John, he got unalived in his apartment by a female police officer, a white woman. They asked the brother, "How you feel about that?" He in the courtroom, I forgive her, hugging her. The bailiff was combing the bitch hair, the woman's hair, combing her hair, brushing her hair, talking about something, and the judge talking about she love her and want to hug her. And you think, and you listen, no. If we gotta forgive, then Palestine should forgive is the state of Israel, and the state of Israel should forgive Palestine. Isn't that the godly thing to do?
Right.
Isn't it? I would say it is, right?
Right.
I didn't even get into Armageddon today. I brought out 3 scriptures. Read on.
Unto the ground.
Unto the what?
To the ground.
That's where we at. We black unto the ground. That's that red. That's that brown dirt. You understand? That's that black soil. You understand? That's that clay.
Black
Go ahead.
olive, black olives.
Oh, yeah, we the black olives. We Jesus olives. All right. So yes, it's time for Palestine to forgive the state of Israel and the state of Israel to forgive Palestine.
Damn right.
If not, they are not men of God. Though God does not deal with those nations, and it proves that Black and Hispanic who have the capacity to forgive, who have compassion, and you understand, who have a heart for humanity, even though, put your hand down, even though we are being oppressed, we're being unalived, and it has been happening for 500 years, even though we still forgive the people that unalived us, that oppress us and put us in utter poverty, that means that we should be the people to run the earth. After World War III, we will run the earth. And we'll do it in a just way. We'll do it with real justice. We'll do it with real concern and real righteousness. How do I know? Because we're the only type of people that will forgive the people that murdered, that unalived us, who stole our identity, who took us out of our power, and who unalive us every day. Meanwhile, 2 countries, 2 superpowers that are backed by world powers can't even forgive each other. Those are the synagogue of Satan, and that is that Gaza that we was reading about in Amos chapter 1. You want to say something before I end this class?
Shalaki,
You got a question on the scripture? All right, go ahead.
that's why you know the black man off the Django, he said that Dot
But yeah, I got you. I'll articulate that for you if you want me to.
Yeah.
And on the movie Django, they said that they cracked open the skull and saw that the black man had extra space in the back of his cerebellum that kind of just made him not want to rebel against the slave master. They couldn't understand, why is it that he's shaving his man's neck every damn day on the porch, but wouldn't slit his throat? You understand? I'm gonna tell you why. Because we're the race of God. You understand?
That's
because we don't just do animalistic things.
That's right.
Even though we're in poverty, even though we're being unalive, we're still not going to stoop down to their level. But there is coming a time where war will be worldwide, and we're going to win. And we ain't even going to have to pick up a gun.
That's right.
That's the beautiful part about it. Let them keep fighting and unaliving one another, and we don't even have to pick up a gun. All we got to do is exactly what the scripture said do. And if you want to know what the scripture said do, tune in again next Thursday at 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. 1 second before I come to you, I'll take your question, then I'll take your question, then we, you know what I'm saying? All right? Go ahead.
Slocky, can I get a quick breakdown on Psalm chapter 45 and
11.
1 second, please. You said 45 and 11?
45 and 11.
Hold on. What's it say?
Should I start at 10?
Say what it says.
So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get there with you. I got these Roman numerals. Hold on. Do-do-do-do-do. You said it said what now?
So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty,
Go ahead.
for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him.
What is your question there?
Is it 10 got a little bit more context, but is it saying like
Read 10.
verse 10 it says, hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thine ear. Forget also thine own people and thy father's house.
Go ahead.
Is it saying like for when the woman leaves her house or whatever and clings to like a man, is it saying like he's the Lord of her?
Read a verse above that. I think 7. You said where you at now?
Psalms 45 and 10.
Hold on. Let me get there with you, man. Hold on. These Roman numerals can be confusing sometimes.
So like this or XLE.
And where you at?
Psalms chapter 45 and verse 10.
What's it say?
Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thine ear. Forget also thine own people and thy father's house.
All right, so go up to verse. Go to verse 6.
Book of Psalms chapter 45 verse 6. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever.
Mm-hmm. The scepter.
The scepter of thy kingdom is a right scepter.
Okay. Read on.
Verse 7. Thou lovest righteousness and hatest wickedness.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Therefore God, thy God, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows.
What does that mean? The Lord rose this man up because he was a righteous king above everybody else. Read.
Verse 8. All thy garments smell of
Myrrh.
and aloes
And cassia.
and cassia.
Those are all spices that we used to use as like a cologne. You know what I'm saying? You smell, it still smells great. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Out of the ivory palaces, whereby they have made thee glad.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. Kings' daughters were among thy honorable women. Upon thy right hand did stand the queen in gold of
Ophir. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Hearken, O daughter, and consider and incline thine ear. Forget also thine own people and thy father's house.
Go ahead.
Verse 11. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty.
Thy what? Thy beauty. Go ahead.
For he is thy Lord, and worship thou him.
Now, I think the next one will help you out. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And the daughter of Tyre shall be there with a gift. Even the rich among the people shall entreat thy favor.
What is this talking about, y'all? Who knows? I'll help you out. It's talking about how you got to give all your riches over to your king. That's what it's talking about. Now, you're gonna forsake your mom. You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay to the king what the king asks. That's how he gets the palace. That's how he gets the garments. That's how he gets all of the oils and the fragrances. That's how he gets all of that. Because you have to work to give him what he needs. Go ahead. What he wants. It says all he wants. It says it said they had whereby in verse 8, whereby they have made thee glad with the palaces and the ivory and all that. They is talking about the nation. The daughter is talking about the nation. Go ahead. Remember I told y'all, ain't nothing like a black woman, Hispanic woman, Native Indian woman.
That's right.
The Bible is comparing that to what makes you rich. Go ahead.
Verse 13.
Please.
Verse 13. The king's daughter is all glorious within. Her clothing is of wrought gold.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. She shall be brought unto the king in raiment. In raiment of needlework. The virgins, her companions that follow her, shall be brought unto thee.
Now read verse 17.
Verse 17. I will make thy name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore shall the people praise thee forever and ever.
This is that type of king. This is that type of king that also love, even though the people give him what he need, he also gonna give the people what they need and make them look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Who got another question? Tabak, you had another question?
It was,
You understand that?
yeah, when we were.
You wanted to know why it's talking about worship the king?
No, Salaki, I wanted to know, did it mean like the king was her Lord?
Yes. Yes. And when it says worship the king, it's talking about you're devoted to the king. Every nation is devoted to their king. Go ahead. What's your question?
Oh, no, it was not a question, sir. It was an input, the one day after we were talking about the Palestinians and the Israelis, what they're doing today. Basically, what I was going to say is like they don't even know, but they are destroying themselves.
None of these nations consider the fact that they're destroying themselves. They're going to be done real quick.
That's right.
All right? And with that, pass the class over to Priest and Officer Kala.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world.
Y'all understand that? They are to be saluted only. Give them some time, brother. Go ahead.
If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, is Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, a free will offering for priests. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like would be welcome. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Feast of Hanukkah coming up December 7th.
Give the Lord a hand for that. That is going to be glorious. That's going to be glorious, man. I can't wait. Go ahead.
It's also called the Feast of Dedication. It's Thursday, the 7th of December for 8 days. You can find it in the First Maccabees, chapter 4, verses 52 through 61. Let's see. Akim, make sure to check the bulletin board when it gets put back up for any other events or anything like that coming up. We have this Saturday coming up the Operation Reservation at the Neil Pitt Pavilion. You know what I'm saying? We also got the Houston Cookout coming up November 23rd through the 26th. Now, if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, and or scarf. All right, with that, Adawanyum wa Akim, Amadium. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Amadium Shabbat, Amadium, Barak, Yahba Shem Yah Shabrakatah,
Yahba Shem Shabrakatah,
Yazmatah, dismissed.
All right, y'all. Stay for a brief counsel. Y'all know we got this